Well, your thoughts on today's 3-0 win?
Yeah, decent to be fair. They were a solid side. They just come here to cause us a few problems. I don't think we were at it first half, as the gaffer said at half time, to be fair. But the quality shone through, I think, in the end, and we managed to get the win.
And what do you make of your impact since you've been at Lichfield then?
I think I've done all right. I actually think probably today was one of my worst performances, and I've ended up getting 2 goals. So it's just a bit of the life of a striker, really, in the sense of if you're on the pitch, you can kind of affect it still, even if you're not actually playing that well. I think I've played better games. I think probably my best game was on Monday night, really, to be fair. I think everything kind of stuck and linking up with playing and things like that, and then managed to nick a goal at the end. So, but today, yeah, I thought we were dominant without really sort of hurting them for times, and then as soon as we got the first one, I think it was a case of right, yeah, we'll go on and win this now. So yeah, it was a good performance by the boys.
And what do you make of the formation change? Because you're sort of now as a sort of front two now.
Yeah, it's I've played in 2s, 1s, 3s all my career, really, so it doesn't really make much difference to me. I know how to play it. I know how to play the systems as they change. Obviously we've got quite a young side, so a few of the lads will take time for them to adapt and be able to adapt mid-game. That's the main thing, is you can kind of set up from the start, but if it doesn't quite work and you've got to adapt, that's when you start to, that experience helps you out, because obviously you've been there and done it before, so being older and wiser, if you like, in that respect, it helps in those instances. So just got to talk the other boys through it a bit at times, and got a great young squad, to be fair. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it since I've been here.
Yeah. And you mentioned you're older and wiser. Do you think that you sort of have a leadership role at the moment?
I think I've always been a bit of a sort of natural leader in that respect. I've always sort of asked for more off people. And myself. That's not necessarily just in football. That's sort of just in and around my life and the way I am as a person. I'll always kind of put myself forward and into those sort of leadership roles and things like that. So it doesn't faze me. Sometimes, like you say, we all make mistakes. I've made mistakes across my career. The way that you speak to people, trying to get the best out of them. Sometimes you give people a bit of a kick, and sometimes you got to put an arm around them, and it's that bit of sort of man management when you're on the pitch, and got people like the skipper and that, and Dilo, the experienced lads who've been about as well, so it helps. So that if I might have had a go at someone, and then it might be a quiet word to Dilo or the skipper and say, just have a word with him, and it comes from a different angle then, and that kind of dynamic works on the pitch then.
And Wayne has mentioned to me that you've been around the block and
More clubs until I get.
Yeah. And what's your career? How would you sum up your career if you had to?
I think I've had a decent career. I don't think many people stay at. You'll see a lot of lads kind of go up and down and move around. I've kind of, when I was younger, kind of went up the pyramid. I was injured, come down the pyramid, then went back up to sort of like Conference North level and things like that, and then came back down and kind of spent most of my career around sort of like step 5, step 6, like top of step 5, sort of bottom half of step 6 clubs. But I'm proud of what I've done in my career. I've always scored goals where I've been. I've done okay out of it, you know what I mean. Never look a gift horse in the round. I'm still playing. I'm 32, so injury wise, even though I had a bad injury when I was younger, I've kind of got past that, and again had an operation recently on my back, so that's helped me out, and you know, I feel fitter than I have for quite a while, to be fair. So I'm just getting the legs and minutes under my belt, which is, it's helped me. Yeah, I think I've played. No worries, interrupted. I think I've played probably 5.5, 6 games in 2 weeks now. So I haven't done that in a long time. So that's probably 3 or 4 years ago since I was last doing that. Obviously pre-COVID. So yeah, I'm getting the miles in the bank. Enjoying it. Still scoring goals. So. Doing all right, mate.
And how bad was that injury, and do you think it changed your style of play?
I've adapted as I've got older, because I believe it or not, a lot of people are going to say that I'm lying here. I did have a little bit of pace when I was a bit younger. So obviously having back injuries and hamstring injuries kind of takes that yard of pace off you that you need. So you do have to adapt. You do as you get older anyway. You just adapt to the game and sort of I wouldn't have ever really consider myself as a target man when I was younger. It was more of a case of on the shoulder and getting that one chance, sniffing that one chance out and netting hopefully. But as I've got older, I've definitely become more of a sort of link-up man and letting the wingers sort of do, especially when we play sort of a 4-3-3, letting the wingers get in and in that sort of format they tend to get more chances, whereas when we play two up top I tend to get a bit soft D'Lo and people like that. So if, from a goal scoring perspective, I've always preferred playing two up top because I just think you're occupying defenders and it's harder to defend against, especially at these sorts of levels of football. So yeah.
And you said that you've played, I think, is it 6 games in 2.5 weeks? Do you feel the fittest that you ever have in a while?
Yeah, it's just that like there's nothing gets you fitter than playing games. So you can do all the it always makes me laugh that we do all these pre-seasons and we get absolutely run into the ground for 6-7 weeks. You're playing games, but not at the same intensity. And then 45 minutes into the first game of the season, everyone is absolutely blowing. So it's always the same. You can never fully prepare, and there's no substitute for actually having those games under your belt. So yeah, it's been really good. Oh, sorry, no worries, mate. I'm sure to you.
What appealed to you about Lichfield City? Because obviously you're quite a new signing. So what appealed to you?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to obviously I know Chatty. He's always in my ear. Like he's keeps saying he'll keep saving my career year after year after year, but. I don't know about that, to be honest, because when he was at Atherstone, he was a nightmare. He's a good bloke, and obviously I didn't really know either, but I actually came before I came and I chat with him, and we spoke for about 2 hours about football, and it just went in the blink of an eye, and I was like, this guy like obviously loves the game, and to be fair, I think we agreed on absolutely everything from the philosophy of football, how it should be played, and I think that sort of set off that trigger in my mind as like this is a guy that I'd like to play for because he's got that same sort of mentality as I have. Wants to win, but wants to win in the right way, and allows people to express themselves. And you can tell by the squad that we've got and the young lads that we've got that they're able to go out there and just play with a freedom. And to be fair, you don't often get that. You don't often get that levels above. And we're playing some of the best football I've been involved in fairness, and like I said, I've played at different levels of that sort of pyramid, and especially like the league above and the one above that, there's very little football played. Like there's a couple of standout sides that will try and play, but I think we're that standout side in this league at the moment, and if with a little bit more experience under the belt, take out a bit of the naive decision making sometimes from some of the lads, which comes with experience. I think we've got a real good side, and can have a right good go.
And do you think that the fact that the team plays such good football, do you think that's benefited you?
Yeah, I mean, it suits my style of play because I can come in, I can drop short, or like I say, the odd time in the 2 goals today, the penalty that I won and the second goal were both from long balls, long hopeful balls really, and with a bit of quality. So it's just mixing it up and being able to see that, and like I say, that comes with experience. Is if this isn't quite working, or if this is working, let's keep doing it. And I keep trying to say that to the boys, and it's coming. Like you can see after a couple of games, they're starting to click with a few. And today, I think that shows when we needed to actually dig in and get those sort of chances. It was 2 long balls that undone them really in the end, and then some good play for the other goal. So.
And looking at your career and your ambitions after football, can you see yourself being a coach or a manager maybe?
Coaching doesn't interest me as much. I mean, you've got, obviously, if you want to be a manager, you've got to have your coaching badges and stuff these days, so I'm probably going to have to do something like that. I do want to be involved in football. I've got a young babby who I took to football this morning and stuff. He's just started out, so it's great. It's great to see him with a smile on his face, loving football. So I'm hoping he does that, so I may go into some form of coaching if he ends up in teams and things like that. But yeah, I think ultimately if I was in football for the long haul, it would be sort of management. I think that, like again, that sort of leadership role suits me more and appeals to me more than the coaching side.
And lastly, what's your personal aims now for the rest of the season?
Score as many goals as I can, get as many minutes under my belt, and then we'll see what happens next year. Really, like I said, I've loved it since I've come in. Really enjoyed it. Great bunch of lads. Joe Haynes is a bit of a pain. Gets under my tits a bit. But, I mean, he's got his 100th appearance today, but apparently I weren't here at the time. Apparently he left for another club. I can't mention it, but he's back now. So he would have had that a bit earlier. To be fair, could have celebrated that 100 and probably 105 appearances. But hopefully the gaffer puts him in next time. But we'll see how he gets on.